Good morning, fellow traders. Hope you're doing all right today. It is Friday, the last day of March. Getting a few things set up here. Bear with me. Morning, Joey. How's it going today? The last day of the month, right? For all of you traders who are newer to the Forex, take a little bit of grain of salt today with some of the price action, because we not only have the quote-unquote fix, the price action that's ending the month of March, we also have the last day of the quarter for 2017, the first quarter, of course, and then we also have the last day of the week. So expect some volatility, especially through the end of the stock market session today, and also up to the close of the Forex market. So there's, I usually don't like holding trades over the weekend, but this weekend would be a good one if you have an opportunity to be flat in the markets. Be safe, better safe than sorry. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Will's tweaking the site again. Nice job, Will. Nice job. I'm still under the weather. Slept about 3 hours last night. Voice is coming around a little bit, though. Hopefully early next week here, I'll be back to my good old-fashioned self. Wanted to show you the trade in EuroCAD. Those of you who were watching yesterday know that we did take some bites out of this on the way down. I put an order that actually captured a fair amount of pips on my other account, but we didn't get the pullback that we were looking for yesterday to enter my pending order with the larger lot size. Since the news came out good for Canada, actually came out really good. The GDP came out at 0.6 month over month. It was expected at 0.3, previous at 0.3. So that helped to strengthen the Canadian dollar and pull the EuroCAD further down. My target on EuroCAD was right about in this area here, 141, maybe 10 or so, being just a little bit conservative on the entry. I'm sorry, at the target. 41.15, somewhere in that area, be a nice target to see on the EuroCAD. Before I flip over to the next currency pair, let's take a quick look at the momentum meter. The momentum meter here. You can see the euro is the weakest currency all the way across the board. Also hanging in there, you can see it on the bottom here, starting to push down a little bit, the Australian. But we have a weak Swiss and a weak New Zealand. A lot of the currencies are coming in weak here, except for Japanese yen and Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar is the strongest. You can see Andrew's commentary here that is put into the chat room that will show up if you have this indicator as well. It'll show up right in your indicator with your broker. U.S. stock markets today are opening up slightly negative. S&P down about 3 points, NASDAQ down 7, Dow down about 30. Not too much, though. Basically flat. So my plan for this EuroCAD is to set my profit levels at about 41.20. So I'm going to do that right now with you here in real time. Get rid of this. So that's my play on this. Stops already moved to break even. Had plenty of profit to do that, 30-some pips. So I'm going to tuck this away and show you the other trades that I have going and what I'm watching. Gold, I was short last night in gold and did pretty well. Just before I hopped in the shower this morning, I pulled my stops down to break even plus a little bit because we had enough room, and of course gold shot up quite impulsively. And remember, if you've been watching me for a while, I feel like the best time to trade the metals, silver and gold, is right before the U.S. Open, during the U.S. Open, and shortly thereafter. I think that's where we get the most volatility, and that's the reason I pulled my stops down to break even plus a little bit, because we were rolling down. It was looking good. I had enough room, and fortunately I did that, so I did not lose any money on gold. at all. It was pretty good, actually. But we did have some areas of support here. We were coming up near the bottom, and it was a nice time to pull it down. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, but I want to get you back to the charts here first. This is where we were at, right here on gold. So I pulled my stops down. Let's see where I was at here. Yeah, stops at 1243.50. Yeah, just above the swing high. So it worked out pretty good. Current open trades are up about 525 bucks right now. Euro CAD and Aussie dollar. How many of you are trading the Aussie buck right now? Because I've been sort of hanging in with this bugger for a while. This is currently where I'm at with the Aussie dollar. Yeah, sorry. Taking a look at the charts here. I'm sorry, the chat. This sickness still getting me a little bit. My brain's not as sharp as it should be. But let's see. We'll continue. Euro. EU, please. Yeah, Euro USD. Again, I don't want to sound too repetitive. For those of you who know my trading, especially in the premium room, we've been doing this for months. I don't trade the Euro USD very often. At least I haven't lately. But this is the Aussie dollar. I'll take a look at it, of course. This is the Aussie buck. Currently have my entry up here at 76.60s, about 20 pips of profit. My target is down around 76.18, 76.17, and we're currently sitting in the middle. I'm okay letting this sit here now. We'll see how it goes. In the next hour or two, might end up closing this. Potential 645. Oh, that's right. I have my OBS set. I don't think you can see these things when I hover over. 43 pip profit target. 1 pip stop locked in profit. So potential for 645 bucks if that hits my profit, which isn't too bad. Dollar index has been the talk of the day here. Talk in the morning. Currently sitting at 100.31. Where's it going to go from here? I think we're going to see some consolidation at this point. I am not that excited about dollar-based trading right at this point for a bunch of reasons. One is we're just slightly above the 100 level on the DXY. Number two, if you look over to the left here, we have a lot of price area consolidation. We have this sort of stretched out head and shoulders pattern. And we also have the monthly, the weekly, and the quarterly final day today in the markets. So I would expect to see some volatility there in the DXY. But let's jump right over to the Euro USD. I know it's the most commonly traded pair, of course, and a lot of you watch it. A lot of you trade it. Taking a quick look at the monthly Euro USD. I don't want to forget to bring up the pound news. The current account came out better than expected. That really helped to strengthen the pound overnight. GDP came up even for Great Britain. Euro had some negative news. So we're going to see some revised consumer sentiment numbers coming out here in just a couple of minutes. Chicago PMI came out better than expected for the USD as well. So this is the monthly of the Euro. Just to give you a little reminder of where things are at. It's always nice to take a look at these longer term charts, at least for a little second. Flash them at you briefly. Weekly. Here's the daily. And I like to use these sort of naked charts in the beginning to see if there's any patterns, any structures here. Four-hour. Again, I'm not trading the Euro USD currently. You can see this consolidation here, sticking here for the last 5 to 6 4-hour bars, candlesticks, whatever you like to use. And I've went on many rants and tirades about the Euro USD in the premium room here in the months before. And the reason is I just feel like you're at least short-term more easily successful in my mind on the Euro Pound, Euro Aussie, possibly even the Euro CAD, and then the Euro Dollar. And right now, I mean, what would you do with something like this? I mean, got to be biased to the downside, but we have rejection. We're bouncing off. I'm mixed on the Euro Dollar. That's all I can tell you. I'd like to tell you exactly what to do and what I'm looking at, but you know, this little area over here is definitely some support here. We're sitting right at that area now. And I like to use zones more than lines because the market isn't always exact. Different brokers are also a little different as well. But Euro Dollar, I'm pretty mixed on. I mean, obviously the trend is down on the 1 hour, 4 hour mixed. We'll take a quick look at this. I like to use the 200 moving average. I use the simple. Most people use the exponential, I think, or the weighted, but I like to use the simple. So the trend on the monthly is down based on the 200. Weekly is down. Daily is down. We did touch the 200 moving average. 4 hour is basically flat, slightly up. Hourly is down, 30 minutes down, 15 minutes down, and so forth. So the only good old-fashioned technical trade would be to sell the Euro USD. We all knew how weak the Euro was, especially yesterday, compared to the other currency pairs, hence my play on the Euro CAD and a sell on the Euro Pound. But right now, Euro USD, I'd be mixed. I mean, it would not be surprising at all if you've been watching the charts for, you know, a long time, months, even years or decades. It wouldn't be surprising at all to see it pull up 50, 60 points and then continue downwards. But I will not be buying it at this level, especially on the hourly here, the way it looks. So I'm mixed on the Euro. Biased weak, of course, compared to others. My favorite pair, Euro Aussie, sitting in this sticky level here. You see these two trend lines, one's drawn to the bottom of the wick, one's more close to the real body. But we're sitting right at that key psychological level, 1.4000. We're just about 10 pips under that right now. If this breaks down, this is going to help to strengthen the Australian currency versus the dollar and also weaken the euro even more. The question is, which way will it go? And there's obviously indecision in the market here. We can see for the last 25 to 26 hours, the Euro Aussie has been in a really tight range, about 30 pips, give or take a few, which is not, you know, if you look over here to the left, you see we have this consolidation and then a move, consolidation, then a move, consolidation. The Euro Aussie, in my opinion, moves a little more smoothly than some of the other pairs. And when we get that movement, it tends to be a little more pronounced pip-wise than some of the other pairs as well. And if you're new to trading, don't forget that different currency pairs have different pip values. For example, Euro Dollar is $10 per standard lot. Dollar Yen is less. Euro Aussie is less. Euro Pound is more. Euro Pound used to be a lot more. I think it was pushing 20 bucks a lot back in the day. Now, last time I looked a few months ago, it was $12.50 a lot. So there's a lot of opportunities here today in the markets. There's some volatility coming in. There's ways to be on a 5-minute, 15-minute chart, doing a lot of intraday trading. Currently, though, my only trades are a short on the Euro CAD, a short sell on the Aussie dollar. I was short gold, got stopped out for a small bit of profit. Pound yen, that's one we've been watching here. My overall bias was to the upside. We're coming back up on this daily. Sort of always hard to fit this in here, but if you look at this daily move downwards, now this is going all the way back till last December. I think it's the 13th, right? 15th, 14th. coming all the way down. We see this bullish engulfing candlestick here on the daily. Price broke through. I would say that no matter how you cut it, this little wick here that we just put it on the daily yesterday, last night, this morning, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are in the world, definitely broke through this trend line. It doesn't matter if you drew it higher or lower. You know, this is going up back a ways. So now if we see this come back down, which we did, right to the trend line on the 4-hour, and then continue up, that'd be a nice potential trade to the upside. Your stops could be very nice and snug for a euro. For the pound yen. You know, stops on the pound yen, if you're trading this even on an hourly chart, most of the time you got to have stops 30, 40, 50 pips if you want to have some kind of room for the thing to move. And right now we did see a bounce off that trend line. Again, this trend line is not exact because it goes over a lot of candles and through some wicks. Depends where you draw it in, depends what broker you use. But I'm still biased to the upside on the pound yen. So Euro Aussie is at a tipping point. I'm going to let it tell me what to do first. We're going to see if it starts to rise, and then we can get long Euro Aussie. If it starts to hesitate some more and sort of sits, and then maybe after market open Sunday evening, Monday morning, wherever you are in the world, if it starts to break down, nice potential for selling on the Euro Aussie. I'm definitely biased to the short side on Euro Aussie, but we are in a sort of consolidation range. My own style of trading, I don't like to, quote unquote, sort of hedge a little, even most of the time. Even I do it, and you've probably seen it before if you've been watching me for a while. But for example, I'm selling the Aussie dollar. I would rather be, trading the Euro Aussie the same direction, be buying the Euro Aussie, playing on Aussie weakness. That's another reason I'm not selling the Euro Aussie at this point. We'll have to keep an eye on crude and pushing up as well. Yeah, cool. Thanks, everybody. Stock market is still sitting pretty flat here. Let's take a look at those numbers that came out. Consumer sentiment came out a little bit worse than expected. USD 96.9. They were expecting 97.8. And really, that's about it for the news. Haldane is speaking out of the Great Britain for the Great British Pound currency as far as that's related to. 4 p.m. today, which is after market close U.S. time here. And we have the daylight savings time shift coming in. So that's really about it for the news for the week. Stock markets are sitting down slightly. 0.05 to 0.2%. Be very wary at the end of the session today. Try, if you can, to get out of your trades. Remember, stops, limits really don't mean a lot over the weekend because there will likely be gaps of some sort as market opens after the weekend. I see Nick released his video. I watched just a couple minutes of it this morning. Looked pretty good, though. You're doing really, really well. Got some great traders there. Will's making some updates to the room. I showed you guys a little bit how he edited the trade ideas. So if you click on a trader's name, you can see all their trade ideas. And if you click on a currency pair, you can see all the trade ideas for that currency pair that were posted in the room. You're doing a great job on that. I'm blown away by it every time I see some of these changes. So if you're with Forex Signals right now, hanging in here with us, you're just on the leading cusp. There's so many cool things to come. The trading contest is coming to an end, of course, so we'll be interviewing the top 3 traders for the month. I'm going to just take a quick look and see what it's looking like here. Looks like BMM first, Big Riverman second, Momentum King third. 3 people that I've never talked to, so it'd be cool to interview them. Learn a little bit more about them. Again, the interviews are always up to the trader. If you are in the top 3 and you don't want to be interviewed, or if you don't mind being interviewed but you don't want to talk about your strategy or your history, that's fine. It's just up to you. It's just for the benefit of the community. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. Not a requirement or anything like that, so no pressure. Dollar yen's at an interesting level. I think it's at least worth bringing up here. It is one of my probably top 5 favorite currency pairs to trade. I've avoided it since the breakout here and the past because my bias was to the downside. So I haven't traded it yesterday at all. But we are seeing a pullback now into our support area, which is coming in on this wick that was put in on the 23rd. I think a long trade on the dollar yen wouldn't be the worst thing. We just have to be very cautious of these areas here. Let me just draw these in for you. I'm sure if you're trading the dollar yen or watching this, you've seen these areas, but just to make sure you got it here. You can sort of see it just barely on the edge of my screen over here, but this gray box is an area of support and resistance, obviously, on the dollar yen. It's been resistance going up. We broke through it, came back down into the gray area, and now if we see a push up, it would not be surprising at all, especially on the 4 where we have this sort of rounded head and shoulders pattern here at the bottom. And for those of you that know my pattern trading, you know that I love good old-fashioned head and shoulders patterns, especially on a moderately long-term chart like the 4 hour. Some of the best trades that I had on the Euro Aussie the past few weeks have been just simply trading one head and shoulders pattern to another head and shoulders pattern. So always keep an eye on that stuff. You know, I don't look at the monthly and the weekly chart every single day because I look at the charts a lot and it doesn't change very much. But don't be afraid to zoom out, clean up your charts a little bit, look for patterns. That's probably one of my favorite strategies is pattern trading. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, I go over some of that stuff in the 10-day video series that Andrew and I did in November this last year. I'm going to post a link to that here. If you're new, just free content that we have here at Forex Signals. And if you click on that link, you can also go back to the video library and you can see Andrew's videos as well. I just happen to have mine bookmarked because I've been sharing them with people who've been asking lately. But I get a little bit more into psychology and treating Forex like a business and trading methodology and money management, that type of thing. But I think a dollar yen long right now would not be the worst trade. The only thing to remember is I don't recommend holding it over the weekend. Right here. What I'm going to do is put a little price here. 111.71-ish. Stops would be below this level, of course, about 111.40. So you have about a 30 pip stop, give or take a few. Not the worst, good old-fashioned technical trade. Aussie dollar's coming down nicely. Euro CAD's hanging in there pretty well. Currently up about 640 bucks on my trades here, just the two that I have going. Yeah, Joey and Art. Yeah, check out those videos. See what you think. I'm going to take another look at Andrew's meter here, and then I'm going to sign off and do a little daily update, post to the Facebook page, Twitter page. If you're not following us on Facebook and Twitter, go ahead and do that. Some good information there. And see some posts from Andrew on there, myself. Some of the other guys here at Forex Signals. Euro is still the weak currency along with the Swiss. New Zealand strengthening up just a little bit. There's just so many things to tell you. I'm not even sure where to start here, but there's so many pairs to look at. We could do this all day long, right? New Zealand dollar. Let me get rid of this here. There we go. Holding steady. Aussie New Zealand is one we were watching for a little while yesterday. Starting to come down just a little bit. All right, so that's a quick and dirty summary for you. Euro CAD short, Aussie dollar short. Looking to possibly get into a buy on the dollar yen here. Keeping an eye on the dollar index. Stopped out for just a little bit of profit on gold short earlier. I'm biased to the downside on the euro pound. Not in it currently. We looked at the euro dollar, mixed on that one. I'm not going to touch the euro dollar for a while here. Cool. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll do a little daily update, do a little posting. Feel free to post your trade ideas in the chat. There's nothing better with this chat room than when people post their trade ideas, and we get discussion going on both ways. Just remember, if you post a trade idea, you're going to get a lot of people that love it and agree, and a lot of people that think it's going the other way, and that's what makes trading great and fun, and that's where the volatility comes in and how we all profit together. So have fun. Make some good pips. Be safe over this weekend. Remember, the last day of the week, the last month, the last day of the month, and the last month of the quarter today, all coming on a Friday. So you want to be safe with the fix. Maybe take your trades off before the weekend, especially this weekend. And I will see you after the weekend. Have a good one. Thanks a lot.